Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's Rhino Run 10X call. This is Tuesday. This is our track call. Today is part 2, Advanced Social Media from the Playbook with Kendra McMurphy. And if you were on yesterday or you watched yesterday's replay, you know that there's some really good stuff coming because she did a really good job yesterday of teasing what we're going to talk about today. So super excited. I was taking notes like crazy yesterday, and I'm really excited for the content that's coming. And yesterday I ran the Zoom from my car to show people like this is a mobile business. You can run it from anywhere that you have a phone connection or a smartphone or a laptop with Wi-Fi. Today I was going to run it from my car again because I had a meeting with 3 women about ketones just 10 minutes ago. But I was sitting in my car, and this is the power of community. I messaged my one promoter that literally lived around the corner. I was like, hey, can I stop over and use your house so I have a nice backdrop and good lighting? So literally, like, use the power of your community that you're building for different stuff. I just got to catch up with him and talk to him about Mitoplex and all the new things. So make sure that you're doing that. Like, get around the people that you're working with. Like, I like spending time with the people I work with. Like, just as much as this business is social and online, focus on that in-person stuff. But the newest thing that I have announcement-wise for you guys is go to the Pruvit Facebook page. Jackie Watson has an Inspire On video. WeInspireOn.com has all the Inspire On videos. You can also find them at the Pruvit YouTube page. Go to Pruvit on the search bar on YouTube, and you can find a list of videos there. So Jackie Watson's Inspire On video is amazing. Find somebody that you can match her story with and send it to them. It's a great third party. It's a great connect tool. So that's the newest announcement for today. And I'm just really excited about this. So while we're on, we have about 130 people, good numbers. Let's focus on getting that up every day. But if you guys could start dropping in the chat somebody that you want to recognize for taking massive action, for committing to the Rhino call, for being on the Zooms consistently, for applying the things they're learning. And then if anybody is on here for the first time, please put your name in the comments in the chat. Or if you have somebody that is joining us for the first time, give them a shout out and say first time. I'm going to call all those names out. So we got Beth Barker, Christy Jones, Jade Cover, Brittany Wingfield, always showing up, Amanda Melnichek, Jamie Rincon, rank 2, Yvonne Mercado, Nick Corey, first one, awesome, Nick. Nicole Menendez, Charlotte Isabel, always showing up. Sam Shearer, planning a massive keto life party in Atlanta. Brandy Gebhardt, Shelly Mount, Caitlin Moyer, Charcy, she's a new promoter, so congrats and welcome. Allison Robinson, Carly Novakowski, Jamie Messina, Nick Corey, again, first time on Zoom, awesome, dude. Christina Cooper, committed to Keto Academy more. Deanna Phillips, GoPro, Lynette Navarrete, I think I said that wrong, so apologize. Kayla Kelly, Amanda Melnichuk, you got 2 shout outs. If you get your name in the comments more than once, you're doing something right. But guys, let's celebrate the new people, like the people that are on for the first time. If you're inviting new people, your goal every day should be to get one more person on the Zoom. One more person on the Zoom. You don't have to teach them what Kendra's going to teach them. Let Kendra teach them. So if you get on by yourself and you're trying to teach 30 people what you learned from Kendra, how much time is that going to take? Versus you getting on and you can focus on learning yourself and you have 30 people on that can learn at the same time themselves. And imagine if those 30 people tell one person and then the next day you have 60 people on. And the next day you have 120 people on. And the next day you have 240 people on. It's a compounding effect just like this business. I am fired up. I had to unleash ketones this morning with Mitoplex. I am on fire. Let me find Kendra, get her unmuted. She's going to bring the heat and bring it home. Kendra, you should be unmuted. Where you at?
Oh, what's up? Y'all
awesome. You ready?
Y'all feel that Nick energy? Double hands in the air if you feel that. So just for the record, I also have a Mitoplex and an Unleashed. I think I prefer them separately right now because I'm weird and I really like the Mitoplex taste. But y'all, if you're not drinking this Mitoplex, like I'm just telling you, I am sleeping better. I feel better. Like there is some serious magic going on with this and I'm real fired up about it. So All right, what's up, you guys? Big smiles today from everybody to kick off the call would be awesome. I know, isn't that so awkward when someone makes you smile? But just do it anyway because it changes your physiology. Your body doesn't know that I'm forcing you to do it. So it could totally shift your entire day. I'm super pumped up. So I kind of told you guys yesterday that we were going to do content, examples, people. We're going to shift a little bit because we didn't get through all of the content yesterday. So we may be doing, we'll see kind of how far we get through today. Tomorrow will probably be a mix of examples and people, right? So I can give you guys some visual kind of examples, and I'm going to give you a call to action today that is going to, okay, Junie, that is going to give you an opportunity to recognize people in your team for some of these things that we're talking about. So some of these things we're talking about, some people yesterday you went and implemented right away, right? You went and did it. And there are some people who you're like, oh man, she's already doing that. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to today recognize some of those people. So we're going to go back before we go forward a little bit and just kind of, we're going to do a tiny recap from yesterday, and then we're going to dive into some new content today. And then I think at the end today, we may have a few minutes for a Q&A. Like that's kind of my intention, to have a Q&A. What I would say about a Q&A though is we'll do it in the side thing, and I'll kind of pick and choose because there is a training that we really need to do all together, which is the power of questions. I can't see in these glasses. My glasses are too dirty. The power of questions. So when you ask a question, kind of be cognizant of like, is this question going to benefit everyone on this Zoom? If I ask this question and get the answer to this question, will everyone on this Zoom's business grow 10 times? Does that make sense? Double shake your head. Yes, if that makes sense. Okay, cool. So yesterday we talked about storytelling, right? We talked about a couple different kinds of like ways to tell stories and write captions and content on social media. One of the things that I didn't share with you, I'm going to give you 5 things, like a 5 kind of, you have the 212 live, which is great. It's awesome. It has, tons of examples and things you can add to it and like ways you can jog your mind. When I sit down to write a story though, there's 5 certain categories that they're usually kind of unconsciously there in my head. And from teaching this, I've had to make them unconscious to conscious because that's what you have to do when you teach. And so that's a nugget for you to remember too, is the things that you're doing right in your business that are bringing you success, that movement from achievement and you achieving in your business, right? I'm going to relate this to what Nick was just talking about here too. From you achieving in your business to you leading is that moment when you go from unconsciously knowing what it is that you're doing and just doing it kind of on autopilot to consciously being able to teach it to someone else. So look, how many of you drop a 1 in the comments? This is your second Rhino run this week. Drop a 1 in the comments if this is your second call. Now, those same people, I want you to drop a 2 in the comments if you have if you have one newest new person on your team on this call with you, or if you've invited them. Okay, I see a couple 2s. I like it. I love it. Now, for those of you who I'm speaking to who haven't, right, who continue to show up, yes, amazing. However, the power of what we're doing when it comes to duplication and story is not just us getting on these calls repeatedly over and over and over again. I think it's amazing, but when can we take this 156 and make it 300? Guys, we started this Rhino run. Hear my heart when I say this, okay? I don't you might hear my words and think one thing, but I want you to hear my heart. When we started this Rhino run, we were up over 200 souls a day. Right? We're getting to the middle. We're getting to that heart. We're getting to that point. We're getting to that hump where it's springtime. People are recommitting to their goals, but we have to recommit to getting people on these calls other than ourselves, right? That's how our teams grow. That's how this works. That's the power of it. Because then when we get our newest new person on and they get their newest new person on, like Nick was saying, it's the coolest thing. So back to the 5 categories. These are the 5 categories when I'm writing stories and creating connections. Number 1, an experience that I learned something from. An experience that you learned something from. This is great because how many of us in our lives have something that, I love to think of it this way. How many, raise your hand, if you've had something happen to you in your life that at the time was absolutely tragic to you, that broke your heart, that broke you down, and you can look back on it now and say, I'm so grateful that happened. Y'all, that's a story. Circle that, literally all around that, circle it with your crazy pen. That's a story. And that's something that you can share in that past, present, future that we learned yesterday. Number 2, something that you were inspired by. Raise your hand if you've been inspired in the last week. People need to see more of that. And if you haven't been inspired in the past week, then go get your butt on that weinspirenow.com and go watch some videos, okay? Get inspired and then share about it. Something, number 3, things that made you laugh. How many people have been scrolling through Facebook or Instagram and saw something that made them laugh? That's value, right? It's okay to share a GIF or something like that. Like, it doesn't always have to be, understand, it does not always have to be an intricate story. It can just be something that made you laugh. Number 4, something that made you feel something, happy, mad, sad, glad. It doesn't, here's another thing, and Nick and I were talking about this yesterday when we got off the call, and I think this is a really powerful thing to remember when we talk social media strategy, is the highlight reel is not always real. That does not have to be, and it should not be. Your social media should not be all rainbows and butterflies, okay? Here's the switch. Here's where it happens. You see people who are like venting and like, you know, just mad and stuff like that on Facebook, and you're like, ooh, that's pretty toxic. Like, I'm good there. Here's how we make the switch. You share the hard stuff. You share the nitty gritty. You share the stuff that made you angry. You share the stuff that made you sad, but then you share what you learned from it. That's the key. That's what separates our social media, the giving of the value. That's the strategy part of it. That's what separates it. And number 5, something that changed your life. So those are like 5 just kind of like memory jogging categories. Just to go back through yesterday, we talked about writing caption in past, present, what I learned, and then we talked about writing it in the 4 color personalities, right? And I'm going to show you some examples of that tomorrow. Where did I go here? Now, I know Rollins talked a little bit about last week about growing your Instagram network. I'm going to give you guys a couple of specific hashtags. I'm going to roll through this stuff really quick because this is stuff that I didn't cover yesterday, but I wanted to just get it back in there in case you don't already have this information. When you're growing your Instagram network, when you're not just going out and following and searching random stuff, right? You're getting intentional with it. Mandy, number 5 was something that changed your life. So you're getting intentional with it, right? So here are 5 categories that you can, and this is just going to spark, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can, like, because you're looking for people who are looking for you. You're looking for people who are like you. You're looking for people who like the things you like. You're looking for people who you can relate to. So number 1, personal development book. Go search that hashtag. Go search that fan page out on Instagram. Guys, like, let's say, for example, you go and search the 10X rule, right? You search the 10X rule and you see, Grant made a post about the book. Guess what? There's probably 4,699 comments on that post. And that's 4,699 people who read the same book that you read and probably have the same belief systems or are adapting the same set of beliefs that you have. That's somebody you might want to connect with, right? So not only go and follow them, here's the tip, right? Don't just go and follow them. Go and comment on something of theirs and then add them to a collection. If you want to create a 10X rule connection, like create that category, that collection on Instagram, right? Because all of a sudden are you growing a collection of 10Xers of people who are going to show up and play full out and 10X their business and want to try ketones? Yep. You sure are. Okay, so that's number 1, like personal development book. And you have your favorites. And if you don't have your favorites, if you're on this call and you don't yet have your favorites, there's another pro tip for you. Like I've said this before and I'll say it again and I'll say it 1,000 times, literally until I have no breath left in my body. If you are still, and please hear my heart on this again, if you are still listening to music, if you are still watching TV all the time, if you are still finding that the things that you're putting in here are not audiobooks, are not YouTube, are not resources, you are cutting yourself short. You're selling yourself short. When I got started in this industry, I became a junkie. I can't tell you how many phones I've been through because I take it in the shower with me and listen to personal development. I'm not kidding. I've tried all the speakers. I don't like them. They always fall off the side. So I just take my phone in there with me and it drops on the floor all the time. But that is a pro tip. Write that down. The time that you have where your kids don't need something from you, where your partner doesn't need something from you, or your job doesn't need something from you, you need something from you and you need to give yourself something to grow. So take that time. Number 2, who's an inspirational person that you follow that you're just like literally like a celebrity, right? So we're talking like inspirational celebrities here. So first things that come to mind for me are like Tony Robbins and Ellen. Okay, those are a couple of mine that I just love. Go to their pages. Again, guys, tons and tons and tons of people who are relating to and loving what you love. You can search the hashtags, you can search the fan page, whatever works for you, go and search that out. Number 3, I don't know what my handwriting says, what I meant by that one. Okay, we're gonna cut this down to 3 categories because I have, oh wait. Okay, roles. So there we go. I'm like, what am I trying to say here in my notes? Hold on, sorry, we got a cat in the way here. Roles that you play in your life, right? So who are you? And this is gonna come back to, you guys have that me bubble, right? That me bubble, that shake your head yes if Katie taught this on her, the me bubble, right? All the things that you are. So look, are you a mom? Are you a dad? Are you a dog mom? Do you have, are you, what do you do for work? Like, what are your hobbies? What are your interests? Those are all roles that you play in your life, things that you do. Go search out those hashtags. Are you an entrepreneur? Yep, everyone here is. So go and search out, yes, I love someone typed Mel Robbins down there. By the way, the interaction, like I 100% encourage that. If you're like having things that you think while I'm teaching, like please, I love the interaction in the chat. I think it's so cool. And I think it helps all of us kind of learn together because you might say something that sparks something for somebody else. So that's awesome. I love that. Go and search out those roles because you're going to find, entrepreneur moms. Anybody care to connect with entrepreneur moms? I do. Right? So I'm going and I'm searching out those hashtags. And I'm going and I'm looking at pages and I'm looking specifically, and I'm going to get to something today. Hopefully I have enough time. I'm going to get to something today that is literally my number one. Like, you want to grow a business, you want to grow a big business, right? You want to go from rising champ to pro champ to rank 8. Anybody at all to 9? You want to change your family's life. You want to leave a legacy. You want to collaborate. You want to give more and be more and become more and feel better. Like all of those things. I'm going to give you a tip today. If you take this one thing with you today, you've got to do this in your business and you've got to get deliberate on it. Like, how many people, raise your hand if you have over 10 customers. Zen, are you serious? Sorry, my cat's like all in my business. Get down. Okay, raise your hand. Actually, type yes in the comments. That's easier because I can only see one. Type yes in the comments if you have over 10 customers. Type yes in the comments if you have over 20 customers. Okay, now put a 1 in the comments if you have over 20 promoters. Got a lot of 1s here. Ah, look at that. Okay, cool, perfect. Put a 2 in the comments if you'd like to have 100 promoters. Yes. So I'm going to share something with you today. It's a little bit about dating. It's dating, okay? But don't be alarmed. It's not that kind of dating. We're going to get there, though. We're going to get there once we get through this other stuff. It is my number one. If you leave with this one thing today, if you get intentional about it, if you take this thing and you start doing it, and it's going to literally tie in from all of the other things that we're talking about. It's kind of this like last puzzle piece that when it clicks in and you spend 10,000 hours to master getting intentional with it, like you will grow a rising champ business. Your business will go champ. You will go pro champ. You will go rank 8. Like all of these things will happen if you just commit to continuing to do this one thing. Okay, let's move on to Instagram stories. Okay, I'm like running out of numbers. Drop a 3 in the comments if you are using Instagram stories currently. Awesome. Cool. 4 in the comments if you're not using them yet. Just kind of give me a gauge, a scope. Okay, so for those of you who aren't, this is a 2-parter here. Number 1, if you are brand new and you are working on one platform, take everything from this training with a grain of Himalayan sea salt, okay? Because literally you do not want to spread yourself so thin when you're just getting started. But if you are someone who, this is advanced social media, right? So at the playbook events, somebody would actively choose to go to this training based on the fact that they have a pretty solid foundation of their social media. They've picked a platform, they feel pretty good about their skill sets, and they're ready to either go to Instagram, start with Instagram stories or whatever. I mean, is this making sense to you guys? So if you're brand new and you're just starting on social media and you're like, this girl is crazy. Like, why does she do green light, red light, and all this other kind of stuff? Like, don't worry. Like I said, you're going to pick a couple of things and just start implementing them on your one platform if you're brand new. Just pick one platform. Well, let's talk about Instagram stories because there is a massive opportunity for monetization on Instagram stories. Huge, 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 huge. I'm going to share a couple of things on Instagram stories. I'm going to show you the examples of them tomorrow. But here are some things. It's the perfect tool for dripping, you guys. It's a perfect tool for dripping. So, and we talked yesterday about how, you know, social media is always changing, right? It's super, super fast. It's the glass half empty, holy crap, there's so much, or it's the glass half full, oh my God, how cool, there's always new opportunities for me to grow on social media. When I got started on social media, I was posting 6 or 7 times a day. And I was posting 6 or 7 times a day, all of the things that I now put in my Instagram stories. It is a much better place for it. So literally, what the types of things in your Instagram stories, I'm going to give you, I'm trying, I have them lettered here. I'm going to number them 3, 4. Okay, 4. I'm going to give you 4 things, okay? 4 things to just kind of jog to what to start an Instagram story. Your Instagram stories, right, are literally a dear diary of your whole day. Are they a dear diary of your ketone experience? Yes and no. It's not ketones, 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 and ketones, and ketones. Again, that's not all you do all day, right? You do a lot of stuff. So number 1, it's a place to share your personality. It's a place to look like this, right? Like, it's a place to just be real. Now, there is a handy dandy filter on there that makes you look really flawless. I'll show you guys, maybe show you guys that tomorrow. It's really good. Anybody know what I'm talking about? The purple sparkly filter? You're looking like Beyonce, no matter what your skin looks like. It's beautiful. That's number 1, share your personality. Number 2, it's a place to be humorous, to be funny, to share gifts, to share memes, to share things in your life. Like, I can't tell you how much I shifted as a person when I started to realize that everything in my life was an opportunity to make my followers laugh. Like, someone just said cussing toddlers. Yes. Like, I remember Camden, like, getting into a bag of, like, protein powder that I had, and it was, like, all over my kitchen. He was covered in it. That's funny, you guys. That's stuff to share, right? We don't have to get mad about that stuff. We just get to share it. Number 3, hobbies that you do. Like, what are things that you do during the day? Now, listen, if you have a job, there's so much magic in the part-time, and if any single person has ever made you feel like because you're not full-time yet in your Pruvit business that you can't grow a massive Pruvit business, that is the biggest crock of BS I've ever heard. Throw that out. You're looking for people who are looking for you, and 90% of the people who are looking for you have other jobs. I'll even go a step further and say sometimes it's harder to relate to someone who is full-time because they're like, oh, well, she gets to do that full-time, blah, 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 because they don't see the other part. They don't see the build in the part-time. They don't see that you work your business in the nooks and the crannies and you're at work still and you're happy about it. How many people need to see that somebody is at work and they are happy and they are joyful, right? Like, if you are showing that, show that. If you're at work, show it, own your life, because you're looking for the people who are looking for you. So number 4, it is a day in the life. Where do these fit in? And as a general rule, I love this, 10 to 1. For every 10 posts you put up, every 10 story posts you put up, you can pop ketones in there one time. So if you're showing, guys, listen how powerful it is. Like, people don't know when to drink these things. They don't know why they're drinking them. They don't know. And they're creeping on your stories because all they know is that Heather Wheeler is freaking happy. They just know that she has this brightness in her eyes. Hannah Curley, I don't know if she's on right now, but she won her and her sister won season 11 of The Biggest Loser. And she's recently fallen in love with ketones. I had a really amazing opportunity to get to know her and to talk to her and hear her heart. And she was on a Facebook Live the other day. And she was talking about, she made me cry when she said it, but she was talking about how she didn't want to like ketones. And she came home after like day 5 or something. And her husband was like, I don't know, you're just like bright. Like, there's just like something about you. Raise your hand if you know what he's talking about. There's just a brightness that clicks on, right? We know what it is kind of with the science stuff, but at the same time, I still don't really understand why it lights me up as a person, right? It just does. So that in your Instagram stories is the place to share that, is the place to share that light and share your life. All right, let's switch over. We're going to switch a little bit here. Like kind of just a 2-degree pivot. So tracking your progress, we're going on to another section here. I'm trying to get these things in here. Tracking your progress, guys, is so cool and so important. Raise your hand if you know about the On This Day feature in Facebook. Ooh, this is fun. I love this. Okay, go to Facebook right now. It's so wild when you just assume that that people know all the things that you're doing. You ever have that where you just assume that your team already knows and you don't want to be the one to tell them because they probably already know? I do that a lot. Okay, so go to your search bar on the top and type On This Day. Click on it, search it. You're going to see, usually it'll say like Facebook shortcuts. Everybody shake your head yes if you're seeing this. It'll say memories, and you click on memories, okay? Look, guys, it's gonna give you every Facebook post that you made on this day from when you started Facebook. Now I have to apologize. Some of you are gonna be like, oh, like you ever go back like 4, 5, 6 years and you're like, wow, I was a real doofus. That's great. I'm really glad I put that on Facebook. But here's the cool part. You can track your progress from year to year. Now, some of you are like, year to year? What do you mean? I've got 3 months. And if I don't make my business happen in 3 months, I quit. Nope. Years. Years. I don't know if you saw, if some of you on here saw the training I did a month or a couple months ago. And I actually showed a side-by-side, a thing of 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. And guys, in 2014 and 15, y'all, it was crickets. It was no comments. It was like my mom and my aunt that were like, oh, that's so nice, and gave me like a sympathy like, right? This is a year to year to year to year to year build. That's why keto life parties and that kind of stuff, they're so important to implement all of these things together in your business, because social media it's your baby. Like social media is literally like, this is your baby. You're going to grow this. You're going to learn things. You're literally in the right place at the right time. You're learning great things about it, but it's going to grow, and you're going to like sharpen your sword. You're going to build that muscle over time. And I love the memories feature because it, some days it's really easy to get discouraged, right? Raise your hand if you've ever been discouraged by social media. Maybe you pour your heart out, put a really good post up and get nothing. Cool. Well, go back in a year or 2 years, right? If you're brand new or you've been doing this before, and go look at how far you've came. Give yourself that credit. And if you're just getting started, next year, you're going to be able to look back on this day and be like, dang, look at me. I'm getting better. My photos are brighter. I'm popping my booty better, right? Like all the things are going to change. They're going to get better. I really like when you guys are laughing and smiling, by the way. This is fun. We're having fun. Everybody smile. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong, okay? If you're not having fun, you are doing it wrong. All right, because we only have a few minutes, I'm going to probably go right till 12:50, but I really want to share this thing. Let's talk about 2 things really quick. Oh, maybe I'll save this for tomorrow because it's such a big section. Okay, I'm gonna save the it thing for tomorrow because it's a big section and I don't want to breeze through it. So I'm gonna give you guys 2 last like smaller strategy tips, and then tomorrow we'll go more. We'll go into the literal, like the thing that's going to tie this all together and put a bow on it, the thing that is going to grow your team. Raise your hand again, 100 promoters. You want 100 promoters? Me too. Okay, this is the thing that's going to do it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Now, here's the thing. Before I give you these last 2 tips and we talk about the tomorrow, your call to action for today. Right now, we have 155 people on this Zoom. Raise your hand if you have 1 business partner. Drop a 1 in the comments if you have 1 business partner who's not on the Zoom right now. Raise your 1 in the comments, 1 business partner who's not on the Zoom right now. Okay, they're still going. So I'm willing to bet every single person on this call, 154 of us, have somebody that's not on this Zoom. So our call to action for today is going to be get 1 person, just 1 other person on this Zoom with you tomorrow. So 154 plus 154, don't make fun of me. Mental math is not my strong suit. So I will use my calculator, 308, okay? So tomorrow, we should literally be topping. Y'all think we can do it? Put a yes in the comments if you think we can do it. We should be upwards of 308 people because I know a lot of us have more than 1 business partner, right? 2, how many people said they had 10? So what if we 10x this thing and max Zoom out? I don't know what this maximum is, but let's find out, right? Okay, so last 2 things really quick, these are literal easy little strategies. Optimal posting times. Anybody ever get like sideways about the algorithms? Oh, the algorithms, I don't know when to post. Okay, listen, okay? I'm here to tell you I don't pay attention to that stuff, and I literally never have. I don't like when people start like saying there is something that's super important. I think Katie talked about last week about not vomiting ketones all over your social media because they will shut you down. Like it's happening. This is not to scare you. This is to give you an awareness. A fairly large influencer got both of his pages shut down for selling on Facebook. This is why, guys, storytelling it's always been this important, but it's never been as important that we all get it and that we teach our new people who don't have any idea. They have no idea. They're not on this call. They don't know they have to tell stories. They're just like, yay, ketones, and they're super duper excited, right? So we don't use money. We don't do that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the algorithms, again, it's going to come back to this simple idea of you're looking for people who are looking for you. So I was teaching in Australia, and I had a girl raise her hand and say, you know, I'm a working mom. Like, I work all the time. Like, the only time that I have to sit down on social media, it's like 11:30 at night and nobody is on. And I'm like, well, what about the moms out there who have the exact same schedule as you? And the only time that they can be on is the exact same time that you can be on. You're looking for people who are looking for you. It doesn't matter what time you can post. It doesn't matter when, because that same person who energetically has a similar schedule to you and is looking for the things you're looking for and has a life, they're going to see your post because they're meant to, right? And they have the same schedule as you. So try not to get yourself too hung up on that idea of like the algorithm and how, like, use that green light challenge to get the people who have their phones in their hands seeing your stuff before you post it, and you'll literally be totally fine. Last thing, and I'm going to kick it over to Nick, recognition, okay? Raise your hands if you know before you improve it, if you knew before you improve it what a GoPro bonus was. Yep, that's nobody. How about a rank 7? Did you know what that was before you improve it? Nope, nobody does. Listen, you guys ever see that stuff out there? Social media does not want to see rank 7, blah, 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 blah. Like, it doesn't matter to anybody outside of our wheelhouse. They don't know. Here's what we do. We still recognize each other. We celebrate the heck out of each other 100%, but we tell a story. It goes exactly, you guys see where everything goes back to? So that person who on your team, we just hit that GoPro bonus, what does that GoPro bonus mean to them? What are their dreams? What are they, like, who are they? Do they have kids? Like, I always ask them, I really like to ask the person, hey, can you send me the picture of you that you love the most? Like, send me a picture of you that you really like. Because then A, I'm not choosing it myself, and maybe it's one that they really don't like. And B, it's an exercise in them muscling up on self-confidence. And they're like, oh, I don't like any pictures of me. I'm like, okay, but if you did like one, which one would it be? And it's a really great tool to get people to start seeing themselves, right? And to get a picture that they like for recognition. Get to know them. Tell a story about them. Tell, why are they here? Why did they link arms with you in this business? What does that $250 mean to their family? What does it mean to them? What does the $500 mean to them? What does rank 4 mean to anybody, right? Like, once we know those things, it's two things happen. Like, number one, we're like, the person that we're recognizing, how much more love do they feel than we're just like, hey, GoPro, you rock, boop, $250. Like, they're like, oh, thanks. Like, it does feel good. Recognition is great. But imagine if they know that you know their story and you're related to it, right? And then on top of it, it's also a tool for recruiting and prospecting, which, if those words make you shiver, we're going to talk all about them tomorrow. It's a tool because when you're sharing a story like, hey, you know, so-and-so was just able to, you know, take her family on a weekend trip to Great Wolf Lodge. The moms out there and the dads out there who want to take their kids to Great Wolf Lodge but can't freaking afford it, guess what? They were just instantly attracted to, well, maybe if this girl, if I'm looking for a name here, if Jen can do this and she can take her family here, then maybe I can do this too, based on a story, not based on a, hey, Jen's a rank 8. Like, they don't know what that means, right? So that's my recognition strategy piece. And we will get into tomorrow 100%. Call to action, again, just to reiterate, is to bring one soul, right? 150, we're 150, we're dropping like flies. But to bring one soul, right, on this call, at least with you tomorrow. And I do believe, I can't make any promises yet. I'm gonna just kind of like drip this a little bit. I do believe there's gonna be a very cool incentive trip with, over the rest of the rental run, whoever can get the most people on. So, like, from their team, right? And it doesn't work. We'll figure out some sort of like mathematical way of like making it fair, right? If you're like, well, my team's only 10 people. If your team's only 10 people and you can get all 10 people on, guess what? Looks like you're leading, right? So someone with a huge, massive team with 1,000 people is going to have a lower, we'll figure that out. But I just want to drip that for you guys, that there will be something really cool, with getting people on these calls. So let's load this call up tomorrow. Let's hit over 300, and we'll talk about the dating, the social media dating. So Nick, I'm going to kick it back to you.
Awesome. I'm going to close it out. That was amazing. I got a whole bunch of notes. I hope everybody was taking notes. That's the whole thing, is bring a piece of paper and take notes so you can apply these things. Real quick, speaking of the Instagram story, I want to get a screenshot on my laptop of everybody just going freaking crazy. So whether you're on my screen or not, I need everybody to celebrate and get screenshots on your own phone. Like, let's go. Like, everybody just throw your arms up, get crazy, like excited, happy, because that's what we are. All right, I got it. I hope everybody's eyes were open. But I'm going to drop that on my story. But if that was straight fire and you got tons of content out of that, drop a fire emoji. If you can't get to your emojis, drop a number 9. I want to see it in the comments. That was freaking golden. That was golden. I love it. But there's a new pulse out that just came through while we were on the call. March's term to avoid, a word you want to stop using, especially when telling stories, is weight loss. Pruvit's ketones are a product to elevate blood ketones. It's not a weight loss product. Stop saying weight loss. Go read the Pruvit Pulse. They give a whole example. That's the last announcement I have for the day. I hope to see 300 shiny white teeth on here tomorrow. Big smiles and excitement. If you didn't turn your camera on tomorrow, make that a goal too. Turn your camera on so we can see your face. But guys, that was awesome. I love all of you. Let's rock and roll. Let's crush the day. And let's come back stronger than we were today tomorrow for Kendra's part 3. And then we're going to close out the week Thursday and Friday with Mr. Brian James. He's going to bring the ultimate prover experience. It's going to be amazing. And if you don't have my energy on the Zoom, drink more ketones. That's all I have for you guys. Have a great day. God bless. We'll see you later.